The purpose of this video is to talk about the types of questions you can ask within Google Quizzes. Now the easiest one to use is either multiple choice, checkboxes, or drop-down. There's really no difference between using these three, it's simply an aesthetics thing, whichever one you think looks best. So if we ask, what day is this? We can type in our responses here. And what it'll do is it'll also start to predict what your potential answers are. So in this case, I'm just going to hit add all. So in this particular case, we've got all 7 options here, with multiple choice, or a checkbox, or a drop-down. Now if you're just choosing one answer, aesthetically, multiple choice is the best option. If you have more than one potential answer, you may want to go with checkboxes. And how that's going to look different is if we click on our preview button, which we can at any time to see how the quiz looks, we can see that we're checking our multiple answers. The nice thing about this preview button is it allows you to try the quiz at any given time. Now that didn't count in this case because we didn't include an answer key or points. So although my response is recorded here in this tab, it doesn't count for anything. So now what I need to do is, now that I've created my questions, I'm going to go to answer key. It defaults to a score of 0, so you need to give it at least 1 point in order for it to count to the overall score. You're going to select all the different answers that are potentially correct, and once you've corrected the score and you've checked your answers, you can go back to edit the question. So from here what you can do is you can also choose to shuffle the option order within there. So every time they preview it, you'll get a different set. This doesn't always make sense. So you can see right here, as I'm going to hit preview, having the dates out of order like that is fairly confusing. So if you're going to use this option, make sure that it's data that can be randomized and you haven't named it something like A, B, and so on, because when you randomize it, it'll be confusing. Now the purpose of the drop-down, if we take a look here in the preview, is especially for smaller devices, it may look a little bit easier to have the data like this. Now there are other types of questions we can ask. It allows us to give us the option of short answer or paragraph. Now paragraph would be very difficult to answer, so we're not going to look at that. We're going to focus on short answer. Okay? So we'll do an example of what is 2 plus 2. So this will work, and it will mark it for us. So we can put in there that the answer is going to be 4. Now you have to think of every potential answer the students might give in this case. So for example, 4 is a correct answer. If you consider 4.0 a correct answer, you have to put it in there. But then you also have to think about the wording, the specific syntax. So 4.0, that would have to be a correct answer if you want to include that. You need to make sure every potential way that you're wording it is included in there. And then you would check here the mark all others incorrect. And you would check there. You can also use this for words. So how do you spell the last month? So if we're going to do something with a short answer that involves spelling, you need to make sure that you use the correct terminology. So December, that could be correct. And if we leave this as being our correct answer, and a student types in the answer December with a capital D, it's not going to be marked correctly. Same thing, or if they said the last month is December, if they write an entire sentence in there, it's also going to be marked incorrect. So it's very specific to the wording that you're using.